Hey guys, so I've decided to make a video on the popliteal fossa and the cubital fossa as well, and also talk a bit about the anatomic snuff box. So this goes in line with me wanting to look the lower limbs and the upper limbs. So I'll start with the popliteal fossa, or rather let's start with the cubital fossa. So the boundary is medially with the pronator teres muscle. Of course, remember the pronator teres muscle has a humeral head and an ulnar head. The humeral head, of course, arises from that common tendon of origin that comes from the medial epicondyle, and the ulnar head from the coronary process. Then you also find that the floor that forms the muscle that forms the medial part of the floor will also attach on this coronary process. That's the brachialis muscle. Then laterally you find the supinator muscle going to attach on that supinator tubercle. That's the floor already covered. Then laterally the boundary we have the brachioradialis muscle. The brachioradialis muscle is one of the muscles of the lateral compartment of the arm. It will attach on the stellate process of the radius distal. Remember, our stellate process of the radius is the one that is a bit larger as compared to the ulnar one, extending 1.9 centimeters. Then the floor has skin and superficial fascia. Then you also find the supratracheal lymph node there that receives most of the lymph from the medial side. Then take you to the lateral axillary group of lymph nodes. Of course, from the lateral side of your upper limbs, you have it going to the to the deltopectoral triangle. You have that infraclavicular group of lymph nodes. Then coming back to our cubital fossa, the contents now you have from medial to lateral. You have that median nerve. Then you have the bifurcation of the brachial artery um, into your radial and the ulnar artery, of course the ulnar artery being the larger one. Then you find the tendon of the biceps brachii. Then more laterally you find the radial nerve and its superficial branch. Then separate there is that bicep to upper neurisis, of course, that separates the brachial artery from the overlying median cubital vein. This prevents the introduction of should I say noxious or intravenous medication into the arteries. Then we also find that cephalic and basilic vein also coursing through that. They're superficial veins, so they'll be found within that roof. Then the anatomic snuff box now has a medial and the lateral border as well. The medial border being formed by the extensor pollicis longus. Then the longus forms the medial border. The brevis forms the lateral border together with another longus, but this time it's the abductor pollicis longus. So in this anatomic snuff box we can find the pulsations of the radial artery. We can also palpate the distally we can palpate the stellate process of the radius. Then proximally we can palpate the base of the first metatarsal bone that is belonging to the thumb. Then we also have um, the the more lateral bones of both the proximal and distal carpal rows. So the first one being the scaphoid. Then from the distal row we find that trapezium, but then they are not distinguishable. So that's the fossa in the hand. Then we get to the popliteal fossa in the back of our knee joint. So this popliteal fossa also has a roof, a floor, and lateral and medial borders. So the lateral border is formed superiorly by the biceps femoris, going to attach on that head of the fibula. Then distally we find the lateral head of the gastrocnemius. Then medially we find the semimembranosus and semitendinosus. Of course, they're muscles of the posterior compartment of the thigh. They both arise from that ischial tuberosity. Then the semimembranosus attaches to the medial conda or the femur. Then the semitendinosus is one of those strip muscles together with the gracilis and the sartorius. They'll both attach on the upper major end of our tibia bone. Then below we find the major head of the gastrocnemius, of course. Then the floor. For you not to confuse this, take this as the knee joint. Then I'm looking at this person. Let's say this is my leg. I'm looking from behind. So this it somehow forms my roof. Then the floor is the one that is the anterior wall that is within. It's formed by what? So this roof is formed by skin and superficial fascia and deep fascia. Then that floor you have that anterior wall you have popliteal surface of the femur. You find the knee joint. Then you also have yeah. Then The contents now, we find those popliteal vessels with that popliteal artery, which is a continuation of the femoral artery after going through that opening in the adductor magnus. Then that popliteal vein as well being formed at the lower body of that popliteus muscle, which I had forgotten on that floor, which is as well as the plantaris muscle on that lateral aspect. Then the popliteus vein formed, of course, by the union of the vena comitatus of the anterior tibial and posterior tibial arteries, which are the terminal branches of the popliteal arteries, or at the lower body of the popliteus muscle that attaches just above the soleal line of the tibia. Then you also find the genicular branch of the obturator nerve. Then you find the posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh, a branch of the sacral plexus, which we're here to cover, of course, but we'll talk about when we talk about the pelvis. Then yeah, that's just about it.